There is no flag large enough to cover the shame of killing innocent people. How can you have a war on terrorism when war itself is terrorism? Subscribe our channel for more quotes. Historically, the most terrible things, war, genocide, and slavery, have resulted not from disobedience, but from obedience. Protest beyond the law is not a departure from democracy, it is absolutely essential to it. History is important. If you don't know history, it is as if you were born yesterday. And if you were born yesterday, anybody up there in a position of power can tell you anything, and you have no way of checking up on it. We don't have to engage in grand, heroic actions to participate in the process of change. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world. But I suppose the most revolutionary act one can engage in is to tell the truth. I wonder how the foreign policies of the United States would look if we wiped out the national boundaries of the world, at least in our minds, and thought of all children everywhere as our own. The memory of oppressed people is one thing that cannot be taken away, and for such people, with such memories, revolt is always an inch below the surface. The cry of the poor is not always just, but if you don't listen to it, you will never know what justice is. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world. If those in charge of our society, politicians, corporate executives, and owners of press and television, can dominate our ideas, they will be secure in their power. They will not need soldiers patrolling the streets. We will control ourselves. We need to decide that we will not go to war, whatever reason is conjured up by the politicians or the media, because war in our time is always indiscriminate, a war against innocence, a war against children. What matters most is not who is sitting in the White House, but who is sitting in, and who is marching outside the White House, pushing for change. I think people are dazzled by Obama's rhetoric, and that people ought to begin to understand that Obama is going to be a mediocre president, which means, in our time, a dangerous president, unless there is some national movement to push him in a better direction. Any humane and reasonable person must conclude that if the ends, however desirable, are uncertain and the means are horrible and certain, these means must not be employed. But human beings are not machines, and however powerful the pressure to conform, they sometimes are so moved by what they see as injustice that they dare to declare their independence. In that historical possibility lies hope. And in such a world of conflict, a world of victims and executioners, it is the job of thinking people, as Albert Camus suggested, not to be on the side of the executioners. Pessimism becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, it reproduces itself by crippling our willingness to act. There has always been, and there is now, a profound conflict of interest between the people and the government of the United States.